Hello, welcome back to VSE Live Noding. In this episode, we're gonna have a look at this node setup that I created using SphereChalk add-on. This is audio node, and also this is Blender VSE for video sequence editor. So basically, all these three features will be working together to generate some kind of noise. So there will be a lot of random noise today. So let's just get started. If I plug this, we're gonna hear some kind of sound. And the sound sounds like random, but it's not really random. If you see, if I'm going through the frame, it looks like every 5 frames I'm going through 5 different numbers, and the 5 different numbers is basically based on the position of this text strip on the VSE, right? So if I actually make this like that, it's kind of like going up. Let's go up a little bit here. Oh, did I hit the end? I probably hit the end. So sometimes with the VSE, I wonder, we have a lot of space up here, but we cannot go too far. We have a limit of how many stripes we can have, I guess. So I guess we can, anyway, we're gonna work around these limitations at some point. For now, we're just gonna generate this value. So currently, the setup is not smart enough to know where this line actually falls into. So it's kind of like just going through 5 values, and 5 values is coming from this 5 stripes that we control. Okay, so if I run it and then plug this, so it's still working, and it's still kind of interesting, and I will share this with you. I will try to break this down. First of all, let's see how SphereChalk controls this audio nodes add-on. So this audio nodes is very simple. There's this frequency, and there's this 4 different noise that you can generate. If you plug this into the sync node, it's gonna generate output. So I call this sound out. So in SphereChalk, it's very simple. We simply use this object ID selector. So object ID nodes is doing the job for us. So basically, I'm selecting a node groups, find nodes group, and with the name sound out. So this is all our node groups. So I have all these, including the SV sound controller, but we want the sound out because sound out is the node tree for the sound add-on for the audio nodes. So with the sound out got filtered, we can filter all the nodes inside this node tree and simply pick the one called oscillator, because we want to control the oscillator and we want to control this attribute. So, and the value is coming from here. So the value can be anything. It can be a random number as a value. We can try that. And if I plug a frame into this guy, this is just one number, and then give a value between 100 and 300. We're gonna have random value controlling the oscillator. So we already know that. We don't want that. We want this value. And this value is just 5 value, but I can increase this into more at some point later. So currently 5 values, and then based on the time frame, we kind of going through the list one by one, and then it's gonna be the value for our oscillator. So it's really that simple. So this is just a simple set of nodes to go and control this node. So it's become a sound controller. The rest of the nodes seems complicated, but let me first give this color. So that's let's copy and paste. So those are related to audio nodes. The rest of this one, actually, if you look at it, it's not that complicated. This is also pretty simple. We have these text stripes inside VSE. So here we are using object ID selector, go to the current scene, get the sequence editor, get all the sequence, find the one that's this is a type of text. This is text stripes. Get the name, sort it out, sort object ID sort. So it's sorting it by the name. And then we get the channel. The channel is really basically the position of this text strip. And yeah, we can change the channel like this. It should actually update up here. So maximum number is channel 32, but I wish it can go a little bit higher. So that's the limit. But anyhow, with this number, 5 numbers, I multiply this by a certain value. Let's multiply it by 10, and so we get some kind of frequency. And here I'm just using a frame number to control the distance of the change, and using modulo and integer division. So this modulo will give a repeat. Integer division will give kind of like the length of how fast it's gonna change between items. So I can make it like 10. So now it's gonna change the frequency every 10 frames. I can change it to 1. So every 1 frame is gonna switch to different value to the next one. And I'm using float to integer here, and list item. So list item is also doing the job. And then this one goes into this guy over here, audio. So I can change this at any time. Like I can also make more or less. So let's say if I change this. If I make it really fast, it sounds like kind of like Pac-Man. I can change the. Sorry, it's really loud. I can change the wave, and also I can make more or less of this. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now the modulo becomes 7. So yeah, it's very, I found this to be really interesting. I think I've done this a few times in the past. So currently this setup is not yet super smart. Like I said, it doesn't know where to start and where to end based on this, what do you call this line, the green line, the playback line. A better setup will be like, it knows it's false here, and so it needs to make sound. The amplitude maybe need to go up, and then when it's off, amplitude will go down. And then even nicer, we can also control the length of the melody. So that's kind of nice if you are able to do that. Even though we have the limit of 32 layers, I don't know if we can go further up. So we can't go too far. See, if we do that, it's gonna be kind of funny. yeah, but I think give it a try. Maybe you make some kind of modifications and see if everything works correctly. So anyway, for this one to work, you need audio nodes. Audio nodes is also an add-on, and then Spreadshock sound controller. If I'm not wrong, installing audio nodes is not that easy. I have video talking about it, but once you have this, it's simply gonna work, and Spreadshock can control anything over here. So it's a pretty powerful setup. And VSE, because you have control over the interactivity of the nodes here, so this is also becoming very, very useful. So this is one fun ways you can do with Blender. Everything is open source, and this is using Blender 2.79. Soon, very, very soon, we're gonna switch to Blender 2.8, and we can do a little bit more, I think. So there you go. Hopefully you find this useful. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.